Three films: Mediterranean, a gritty tale on the plight of refugees; Mustang, innocence under oppression; and EuroparlTV, the lessons of right and wrong. But which would win the European Parliament's LUX Film Prize 2015?
The winner is Mustang by Deniz Gamze, Ergüvens.
Deniz Gamze Ergüvens, the winning director, sat down with EuroparlTV. Congratulations. Now, what does it mean to have won the LUX Prize?
The LUX Prize carries very well its name. It's the three films which were selected were all questioning our societies in one way or another. And all these films could possibly open a few doors of thinking, of dialogue on different questions. So it's a way of strengthening these films and echoing their resonance very, very strongly. So it's an immense power that it gives us.
What forms the basis of making a movie about female oppression? Is it because you, as a woman, wanted to make a movie, or does it relate to the oppression you've seen in Turkey?
Well, my relation to cinema is really something where I have this feeling of a deep movement of tectonic plates which go in one direction or another, and it always goes towards what I am the most sensible to in the world we live in at a certain point. And yes, around the question of women is thought and reorganized the idea of society in Turkey today, and I thought it was really a time where we had to rethink it and to question it.
To question
the
way
place
in which
of women in. Well, in the beginning it started with, I wanted to say with quite a sense of urgency what it was to be a woman, and there was something in Turkey which was even more acute and urgent to seize.
But do you think also this is a movie that can relate to everyone? Because essentially, whether we talk about male or female, it's essentially about children growing up and coming into their own. So is this also about giving the rights of young people to then become adults and have the right to make their own decisions?
There has been people from very different countries which have said that the story of the film resonated with their experience in a way or another, because the basic line of the film is really an aspiration to freedom, and so of course women are more sensible to it because there's resonances even in cultures which have no historical or cultural, geographical intersection with Turkey. People find elements in their own experience that resonate with one of the films. I always compare the film to The Escape from Alcatraz. So the basic line of the film is really a question of freedom, an aspiration to freedom. And then of course the question of womanhood finds specific resonances elsewhere in the world.
So did you draw upon personal experiences, or are these stories that you heard of the way in which young girls are treated? For example, this image of girls living in essentially a prison.
That was something which was a metaphor. Of course it exists. Of course everybody knows this girl from a neighborhood which never gets out, and things like that on different generations. I had figures like that around me. But it was really, for me, there was something about, in cinema you literally film the metaphor. Like when I question what's happening to freedom in Turkey, I literally stage it by putting one brick over another and yes, erecting higher walls. So it's a way of dramatizing the values in conflict through a metaphor.
But do you think people in Turkey are going to be happy about this movie? Because it's obviously painting quite a terrible portrayal of what can happen to girls. So do you think people will see this as an East versus West movie?
That's the way that you trigger dialogue and you trigger development. So I don't think ducking down or looking away makes us any good. And I really feel we have the responsibility to face things. Turkey is a very dynamic country. Through my short existence, I've seen the country change dramatically throughout the years and develop very strongly. So yes, within this movement, it's very important to exert our critical look. A critical look is not necessarily antagonist, it's just a way of questioning.
I think we have to leave it there, but thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Seems to be